joining us here for THV11's Good News Special. I'm Amanda Yeager.
I'm Scott Covert.
And I'm Hayden Balgiv. You know, one of our favorite traditions at THV11 is sharing those feel-good stories from the past year.
This time of year is often known as the season of giving. And here in Arkansas, we have some really generous folks.
Now the story of two strangers who became best friends.
Yeah, you will. You're going to do great.
At first glance, you may think Robert Ford and Dutch Daniel have known each other for years, generations apart, but connected through their wheels.
He taught me how to drift and how to go fast.
But this lifelong friendship only started months ago.
It is crazy, but you know, God say he moves in a mysterious way, and only God can touch someone's heart.
It all began at a wheelchair shop. Robert was getting repairs done while the Daniels were looking to buy Dutch's first power chair. Robert saw many people that day, but he says there was something about this little red-headed boy.
We have a disability van that we ride Dutch around in, and he said, let me go take a look at that van of yours. So we went out there, and that's whenever he approached and said, hey, I've got a chair for you.
A blue wheelchair that Robert had been holding on to for over a year, just waiting for the right person to give it to.
The Bible said better give than receive, so when God tells you do something, you do it, and you don't look for nothing in return.
For a guy like me that has the ability to buy a wheelchair, if you will, where Robert doesn't have the ability necessarily to do that, for him to just show that level of act of kindness is beside me.
It wasn't until Robert insisted on coming over to the Daniels to show Dutch how to use his new wheelchair that Scott noticed Robert's van tied together with ropes and tape.
It smacked me in the face, and I knew right then I've got to help Robert get a new van. He's got over 200-something thousand miles on that current van, and he needs a new one.
With over $13,000 raised, Robert will soon be driving around in a whole new way. The act of kindness coming full circle with strangers showing what it really means to pay it forward.
Scott will always be my family. Scott did more for me than anybody ever have did.
There's lots of ways that you can touch people's lives, and you know, and he and Dutch now they're going to be pals forever. Drag racing buddies.
In North Little Rock, Mercedes McKay, THV11 News.
Was just diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic inflammatory breast cancer. Yeah, that sucks, don't it?
It was a skit based on a true story.
It was the hardest video that I've ever done.
Good news is that there is a type of chemo that my doctor wants to put me on that is made specifically for my type of cancer. How excited you must be about that. And, you know, do all the things that I still want to do. Yeah, being able to live is awesome, huh? Will you cover this chemo? That type of chemo is experimental and not FDA approved. Therefore, we cannot pay for it. But it is FDA approved.
His family story.
Fortunately, this last skit that you just saw is actually happening to me and my mother right now. I'm living with her to help take care of her while she's receiving her cancer treatment.
The video, with over 1 million views, outlines the struggle his mom has faced after being diagnosed with cancer.
Still drowning in medical bills, and I don't know what to do at this point.
Insurance no longer covering the cost of a treatment that could save her life.
If we were to pay out of pocket for the chemo alone, not considering travel or other medications, $40,000 alone just for the chemo, once a month, every month.
So he asked for help.
If I've ever made you laugh here on my channel, maybe that's worth a buck.
And help came quickly.
I'm at a loss for words right now.
In a matter of days, Kid's loyal fans raised around $225,000 to save his mom. Many saying Kid had helped them when they were struggling throughout the pandemic, providing joy and laughter.
Do you ever realize the impact that you even had on people that were struggling in their own ways?
I didn't. But I do now.
As his mother continues to fight cancer and legal battles trying to get insurance coverage, they have hope.
They have really, truly given us a gift of life, really and truly.
For Kid, it really is a full circle miracle.
TikTok adventure for me has been a God thing from beginning to end. I started doing these TikTok videos in the first place just so me and her could have something to laugh at when she was going through her treatments.
And they'll keep laughing together, even during the challenges, because it's laughter that brought them here.
Laughter is a very powerful thing. It is a very, very powerful thing. And I believe that, and there's nothing more in this world that I love, other than my mother, than making people laugh and making people smile.
In the Martinez household, Halloween is a big deal. We have Halloween in the house year-round.
A king-size deal. After all, it's Leon's favorite holiday. But last night, right when candy was in reach,
it just happened to be seconds before we leave, and this happens.
Their newly rescued dog acted out.
All of a sudden, he just lunged at him and grabbed his face, and it was really scary. I just saw him hit the ground.
So, instead of getting sweets, Leon braved stitches. But Katie didn't want her son to miss out.
I was devastated. My heart broke for him.
So she decided to try a few tricks.
I took to Facebook and I just asked the local group, hey, is there anyone that has any candy, even if it's just a couple houses?
That turned into a real treat.
And so a whole neighborhood came together with candy, friends, and decorations, all for a November 1st Halloween do-over.
Within hours, close to 50 houses all signed up to give out candy.
Trick or treat!
And leave their decorations up one more day.
Hey kids, well happy Halloween guys, thanks for coming by.
All for one 3-year-old.
Thank you!
We were hoping that they would come by. We wanted to be a part of making somebody happy.
And to keep his Halloween spirit alive.
He's going to be in the costume for days, but whatever makes him happy right now.
Even in his dreams. In Sherwood, Sarah Backwitz, THV 11 News.
Knowing that somebody would give me life is just extremely selfless, and I'm forever thankful.
Imagine you're a star baseball player ready to make a name for yourself on the field, and then life throws you a curveball. Tonight, we introduce you to Brady Robnett, who was a fighter on and off the diamond. During the offseason, you can find Brady Robnett right here, working on his game and catching up with his head coach.
We'll hit. Yeah, we can hit.
This is Brady's routine. However, 11 months ago, the star on the diamond was thrown a curveball.
He was practicing baseball 3 days a week, lifting weights. He was the heaviest he's ever been in his life, the healthiest he's ever been in his life.
Results from monthly labs for a routine skincare medication prompted a visit to Arkansas Children's Hospital, Christmas Eve 2020. By coincidence, you find out what you found out.
We found a higher count of abnormal cells.
A night normally reserved for gifts, instead replaced with heartbreaking news.
The oncologist said, I'm sorry, he has leukemia. It was hard. We didn't know what to think. We didn't know what to feel.
AML, a rare form of the disease, especially for kids under 20. Brady was forced to trade practices for chemo treatments.
I got the final diagnosis. I didn't know what to feel. You know, I was scared. We were all scared.
Then in February, another tough blow.
The test came back and you have a high-risk fusion and you're going to need a bone marrow transplant. And that just, it was crazy because we were so caught up with the fact that we were in deep remission after the first chemo treatment that we were like, well, there's nothing else that can happen now. And then that happened and we were just like, we have more to do. It was just devastating.
Brady needed a donor, so the family turned to his two siblings.
Neither one of my children were a match, and that was devastating.
Devastated but not deterred, Brady was forced to move to a hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. After nearly 100 days of waiting for the baseball star, it was a stranger's turn to step up to the plate.
They came back and said that Brady had a donor, a 22-year-old male that loved my son so much that he was willing to give him his donor cells.
5 months after receiving the toughest news of his life on Christmas Eve, Brady got the best present of his lifetime on May 28th, his 17th birthday.
It's an easy day to remember. We got Christmas Eve and my birthday.
Yeah.
Nearly 6 months later, Brady is back to doing what he loves.
I went to clinic a couple days ago and my labs are looking great, continuing to get better.
And he's grateful to this unknown teammate somewhere out there that he hopes to thank someday soon.
Be one of the greatest days of my life. And knowing that there's somebody out there who's a stranger, doesn't know who I am at all. Knowing that somebody would give me life is just extremely selfless, and I'm forever thankful for it.
Just one?
ISO Joe.
My man.
Giving back to the community.
Happy Thanksgiving, bro.
When some may need it most.
I was once, a child in need at some point, so, I just want to do my small token of appreciation.
Joe Johnson handed out free turkeys in North Little Rock Tuesday night.
How many y'all need? Just one?
It's the first time he's done something like this.
I came up with this idea, ran it by my team, and they thought it was, great, so I'm glad we was able to come out here and everybody participate.
And in the season of giving thanks by giving to those in need, Joe had some time to reflect on what he's thankful for.
I'm thankful, I got a chance to wake up this morning. I'm thankful for each and every day. Let's get it.
In North Little Rock.
Thank you.
What's up?
Ashley Godwin.
All right.
All right, thank you.
THV 11 News.
Doing that, Joe? Yeah.
To see a miracle in the flesh, I cannot describe it in words. It's undescribable.
A new baby can be one of life's greatest gifts, but unfortunately, earlier this year, one local family learned their new child would need a miracle. They never lost hope, and as our own Michael Aaron tells us, they got their miracle.
Timing is everything, and sometimes timing can even lead to miracles.
Yeah, good job!
9-month-old Ollie Hurst is proof of that. Here he is with Mom Elaine, Dad Daryl, and big brother Paxton.
Oh my gosh, he is obsessed with his big brother.
A seemingly happy and healthy baby.
He is just so calming. He is strong.
Strong. A key word in this story, a word we'll revisit later.
I'll see him on the floor scooching around and think, that shouldn't be possible. And it still just kind of blows my mind sometimes.
That's because Ollie has spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA, a debilitating genetic disorder that affects about 1 in 10,000 babies. As their muscles break down, children with SMA often have trouble moving, eating, and even breathing.
By around 6 months of age, you would expect already severe problems start to occur.
Dr. Kapil Arya, an associate professor of pediatrics at UAMS and neurologist at Arkansas Children's, has treated dozens of patients with SMA, including Ollie.
Our best bet of treating these particular children is to catch this particular disease very, very early, even before the onset of symptoms.
Timing, a critical factor for detection and treatment. Last year, Arkansas became the 14th state to require an SMA test for newborns.
We follow around 32 children. And that is all the children with this particular disease in the state.
Ollie's case, the first detected at birth.
Just last year, in March, we decided to move out to Arkansas to be closer to family.
The Hurst came from California a few months before Ollie was born. California, among states at the time without mandatory SMA screening for newborns.
And if we had been in California, they wouldn't have caught it until he was already regressed.
Timing. At 27 days old, Ollie received Zolgensma, a gene therapy medication.
That one is a one-time infusion, and theoretically, you're done.
At $2 million per dose, it's the world's most expensive drug, covered by insurance in this case, and worth every penny.
He has a very good chance of continuing to maintain his strength, continuing to maintain his normal growth and development.
I mean, for me, glory to God, but also, man, science is so cool, like without our doctors and the scientists that made this treatment, like 2 years from now, I wouldn't have him, and that's just unimaginable.
Now think back to the beginning of this story. Remember the word Elaine used to describe her son?
She said he's strong, which is such a good thing to hear. Strong is not something that you associate with a child who has spinal muscular atrophy.
With that in mind, Dr. Arya says there's just one way to describe Ollie's journey.
I can't call it anything but a miracle. To be able to be a small part in somebody's journey of getting healed, to see a miracle in the flesh, I cannot describe it in words. It's undescribable.
And as time marches on,
Mama.
this family is thankful for every moment with their miracle.
I'm interested to see what he's going to do with his little life.
Santa Claus, Christmas, it's for everybody. Christmas is for everyone, and everybody should be represented.
We all know Santa lives at the North Pole, but he made a couple special visits to Central Arkansas, spreading messages of positivity and representation.
We love being able to represent Christmas and our culture as a part of Christmas.
Santa Claus may live at the North Pole.
It means the world to me to be out here and be a representative of the community.
But he keeps a home in North Little Rock too. And today was a big one. It's his first appearance of the year.
But this is my first real big public event, so this has been great. There's been a non-stop line since we got here. And everybody seems to love it. Everybody came out to celebrate, so it's been great.
But the reason Santa Claus is here is because last year, not everyone loved it. St. Nick put up decorations that look just like him and got this letter in the mail.
Please remove your Negro Santa Claus yard decoration. You should not try to deceive children into believing that I am a Negro.
He doesn't know who did it, but he's not letting the negativity get him down. Instead, he's loading up on holiday events like North Little Rock's Northern Lights Festival to remind people what Christmas is all about.
To turn something ugly into something positive is a dream come true for me.
It just reiterates the story of Christmas, you know? It goes back to just loving one another, loving thy neighbor, and that kind of stuff.
David Gatonga is cousins with Mrs. Claus. As a parent, representation is big for him.
For some people, they go through Christmas with the same things over and over again, that they even start to forget the idea of Christmas. But this is just a nice way to kind of refresh that for them and make them look at Christmas in a whole different way.
So as we head into the holidays, Kris Kringle has a message to share.
It's just hello Santa. I'm Santa, and it's simple as that.
Don't let negativity get in your way, and don't let anyone stop you from being you.
It's that Santa Claus, Christmas, it's for everybody. Christmas is for everyone, and everybody should be represented.
In North Little Rock, I'm Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
The perfect story to end our Good News special.
Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope these stories brought you as much joy as they brought to us.
From all of us here at THV 11, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks for...
Sorry. To end our Good News special.
Oh, it's me? Okay. Sorry, I didn't know. Okay.
I think I have weird faces the whole time.
I'm going to try to keep...
All is calm.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's one of our favorite traditions. One of our favorite traditions here at THV 11.
Sorry.
It's Amanda. Why can't I speak?